I've never seen The Last Whistle. One of those movies. Rob Smash. Same trash can. Oh, exact one. Tommy Burgers. Tommy's is over there. They do hamburgers. But right next to it is this old Texaco off of Camp Bowie. It always has classic cars. So if Adam the Woo decides to come to Fort Worth, this area is a find. I could lead him here. It's right off Camp Bowie by Tommy's Burgers. They have good burgers. This will never have, you know, anything but classic cars. What I meant to say was it'll have classic cars. It'll always have classic cars. They've been doing this classic car stuff for a very, very long time. This is the gas station. It's just known as Texaco. This is a Thunderbird right here, something you'd see in The Outsiders, you know, with Tom Cruise and Patrick Swayze and all those guys. This would be something you would see. This is also cool. It's a Chevrolet truck. They're remodeling. Every time I've passed by here, it's called Medlin Service Center. And they're Medlin's Texaco, a 5200 Camp. So 5200 Camp Bowie. It's a Texaco. And it's right off Camp Bowie. They're just classic car crazy. And like, look at this guy right here. They're rebuilding parts of it right here. You just kind of look right in here. And that's even probably going to be a classic car. This right here. It's an old Cadillac right there. This one's big time classic. Kind of gives me the Christine feel. What Stephen King, Christine. It's jacked up right now. Looks like they're doing work on it. They got it on little stilts. That's an old school right there. Now we've passed by, Linda and I have passed by this place several times, done a couple of vlogs, quick vlogs. I did say I'd get back. That's the old school one right there. The old school sticker for the registration back in the day. Look at the white wall tires. Terraplane there. And then there's the number 8 on the back right here. Kind of gives a little bit of Bonnie Clyde feel to me. I mean, I don't know what Bonnie and Clyde, what type of car they had, but that's what it feels like. I'm not for sure if you can get gas here. You can kind of smell it. You probably can. This is also kind of a Christine, Stephen King feel, you know, Chevrolet. I have to read Christine to really understand what Stephen King was trying to say about classic cars. That one looks cool too, right over there. Yeah, you can get gas. I can smell it. And shaved ice, New Orleans style. If you want to get shaved ice, the Texaco, Texaco. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I really like the cherry one right over here. I'm gonna go pick up the Tommy hamburgers and drop them off at your doorstep. But it's a Thunderbird. Really nice tires on it. We're remodeling the inside of it. That's what he does. You just drop them off here, and he remodels the car. Look at this guy. kind of like that movie Cars. They come here to get all happy, and then once they make them real happy, then they sell them. Isn't that nice? These little tires right here. Isn't that nice? Ain't that something? Ain't that nice? Texaco. It's real nice. Isn't that nice? It's real nice. Right there. Little Easy Annie shop. Some classic cars. Get yourself a classic car. All the way from Florida. Just to let Bob know how I'm going to be as a director on set. Real good, Bob, real good. Why don't you do that? Okay, listen. That's not a werewolf thing. Don't worry about it. Just worry about the werewolf thing. It's okay. When you walk around in a circle, okay, you switch the part. Okay? You're Grace, and then you're St. Patty, and you're the other character, and just kind of stand upside. Okay, it's real good. It's real nice. And you walk around in a circle. Yeah, just say the lines. Very good. Okay, that's really good, Bob. All right, now I want you to do the whole thing, but just kind of with your hand like that. Okay, just do it like that the whole time. I'm just joking. I'm not gonna really be that way. I was really trying to imitate Christopher Guest, and for your consideration, right there. I don't know if it was real good. It was really good. Okay, well, just forget the lines. All right, now let's just walk around in a circle. You guys see, for your consideration, man. It's like the corned beef sandwich. Oh my gosh. Corned beef sandwich scene. If that was a corned beef sandwich, I'm sure it probably was. I hope it was. About Schindler's List and the kids having to go down in the sewer and all that craziness, which is just so sad. My sister and I did that. My dad was rebuilding the jewelry refinery. My dad was a big jeweler. He refined gold, silver, and diamonds, and he had re-gutted the whole sewer system so that the company would have their own personal sewer system, but you have to build trenches to get down in the sewer pipe. And they have a chemical that goes into the sewer, so it breaks apart the poop and things like that, and it's like a blue kind of chemical or whatever, but I don't know the color of it, but it goes into the poop, so it makes the poop kind of, anyway, it looks like mud. So my sister and I, we were just little kids, 4, maybe 5. And we were thinking Star Wars or whatever, in the trenches. We were like, oh, okay. So we got in the trenches. The poop was more kind of like clay. It was like, my sister and I were like, this is neat, So we got we stuck our hands in the poop, and they were all over our hands. Like, it made this weird moldy shape. And we smelled it. You couldn't really smell it because of the chemical. It broke it apart. But you could say, nowadays you could recognize the smell that it was sewer, but we didn't know. We weren't eating it. We didn't try to eat it, but we did stick our hands in it. My mom was sleeping on the couch. My dad was at work. We'd been playing in it for a while. And we go, Mom, look at her hands. And they were all caked in poop. And my mom, she woke up and took a couple of sniffs and, what in the hell? What did y'all get into? We were in the sewer line, but we were in the trench. We were in the trenches of it. And she cleaned us, off in the bathtub and told us never to do that again, or we'd get in a lot of trouble. We were bathed in poop. Now, there's another story my sister and I share. I was going to write a novel about my sister and I playing in the woods next door. I tried to start in high school, and one of my creative writing teachers got mad because I didn't have a conclusion, and I was just writing the first part of the story. It was like 20 pages long. I turned it in, and it's like, I'm planning to turn this into a novel. He immediately got mad at me, because I was just 18, maybe going on 19, and he was already working on one of his novels. Anyway, my sister and I, we would go in the backyard, and this is not a poop story, but we would dig with a shovel or our hands, a small toy shovel, and we would dig straight down and maybe make like a little shallow U, and we would stick our hands and from one end, it was like from another end of the earth to the other, and we would grasp hands underneath the earth and shake like it was like we were making a deal. You know, we would shake our hands, and we had their hands, you know, all the way up to our shoulder. We would dig in there, and we had like little cars and stuff. We'd play with cars and things like that. But we did that one time. I remember it just like yesterday. You know, digging into the earth and then reaching in and grabbing the hand of the other, you know, and shaking on it, like making an agreement or some kind of agreement, you know, like I don't know, some kind of underground handshake thing into the soil. But we did that in the whole yard area. We had like a pony. I think his name was Tony, but we also had a cat named Tony too. It was interesting. And I used to also lay in the bushes with my dog Smokey, and he had ticks. My mom told me not to do it. It looked very similar to Lassie. I was a big fan of Lassie. I would literally cry when Lassie was over. I felt it was injustice for the show to ever end and there'd be credits. I was that big of a fan of Lassie. So I'd sit there and watch Lassie, and the credits would come up, and I would just begin crying because I knew Lassie, you know, that was the last segment of that particular episode, and it was over. I didn't want it to be over. I wanted Lassie to be on TV for hours on end, like a 4-hour vlog. I still probably would have been tired of Lassie. But we had a dog that looked similar to Lassie. His name was Smokey. He was a German Shepherd, and he would hide in the bushes. True story. And I would go, and I was a little kid, maybe 4, and I would go and lay down with Lassie in the bushes for as long as I could. We would actually go to sleep in the bushes, and I'd wake up and there'd be ticks on me. You know? Mom was like, "Were you in the bushes sleeping with Lassie?" Well, with Smokey the dog, and I'd be in the bushes, you know. We were really into like the wilderness kind of thing. And one time we didn't come back. We went out all day past dark, and they called the sheriff's department. They were sort of looking for us. We finally show up, crossing the barbed wire fence, also known as the barbed wire fence. And, you know, we'd be coming back. They were dragging the pond, you know, looking for us. And we had been out so long. My mom, "Where have y'all been?" Well, we just went out to the Hunt's property. You know, we were walking around. We didn't really know where we were. Get lost all the time in it. Away from Utah. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. That's you know, everyone's got their American Graffiti movie. I mean, Richard Linklater, Dazed and Confused. It's his American Graffiti. Deep on Ellen would be mine. I mean, we really did trip out on acid. But the thing is that, you know, that we weren't like real big marijuana. Like it would come around concerts and back rooms, but we were doing like LSD and huffing, like, and I don't recommend this for anyone, but huffing Scotch Guard, which is really dangerous. But we were doing that stuff. You can't really do much. It's like an ether moment. you know, if you look at Hunter S. Thompson's, the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Johnny Depp and Benicio. We weren't doing ether though, I tell you that, but we were experimenting a little bit with what's called Scotch Guard when we were teenagers, and then LSD, of course. And it was just, you know, that Deep on Ellum is kind of a snapshot of some of that, you know, skinheads hanging out with punkers and alternative types. You know, it was like, it didn't matter. They were just skinheads to get girls, you know. They weren't, you know, real militant skinheads. But 2 years later, they were dressed up like club kids, and we're like, what happened to your combat boots and your neo-Nazi flag, you know? And they didn't have it anymore, you know. It's a fad, you know. It was like kids wearing leather jackets back in the day, and you know, of course it's bad. I don't promote it, you know, but that's just the snapshot. Oh, here's Cousins right here. It was just a snapshot. It was just the thing that was there at that moment in life. I can't say it was right or wrong. I mean, I would say it was wrong. You know, those guys were pig-headed, but they were doing it to get girls, you know. 2 years later, they're going to like law school, you know. 2 or 3 years later, probably, some of them. You know, they became functional people. They would get in fights at malls and stuff over these, you know, stupid things. Just the stuff I've seen is amazing. Anyway, let me go this way. But that's Deep on Ellum, that script.